All around the world, there are various forms of communication.
Goodbye.
Adios.
مع السلامة.
Auf Wiedersehen. Annyeong.
Not all communication is in the form of vocalizations. Nonverbal communication includes sign language, reading, and body movements. Body movements are more prevalent in larger groups, and humans are more prone to stay in large groups. This was shown in a 1993 study by Joseph Dunbar titled Coevolution of Neocortical Size, Group Size, and Language in Humans, which states that the neocortex size in humans has evolved to adapt the group size one is most comfortable in. Dunbar concludes that because the neocortex is large, humans are more comfortable in larger groups. When attempting to make a connection between humans and mallard ducks, we looked at the similarities between ducks and humans. Mallard ducks and humans are both monogamous and reside in the same groups. In this case, both humans and mallard ducks share a common residing habitat here at Michigan State University. Here's where we began our research. In 1969, Dennis Raveling published Pre-Flight and Flight Behavior of Canada Geese, where he conducted an observational study on Canadian geese at a wildlife refuge in Illinois. He found that in the time leading up to departure, there was an increase in the amount of head turns, defined as a vertical movement of the bill and head with neck turning involved. We used this information and applied it to the mallard ducks on Michigan State University's campus. Because ducks and geese are a part of the Anatidae family and share similar bill structures, broad cross-sections of the body, short thighs, and webbed feet. Less research has been conducted on humans regarding their nonverbal communication when departing an area. However, in 1991, Dr. Martino Saltzman published Travel Behavior of Nursing Home Residents Perceived as Wanderers and Non-Wanderers, and he confirmed that humans do have increased movement prior to leaving a designated area. Now, we need to connect the human and duck behaviors with a gene. We found a gene shared by ducks and humans called dopamine beta hydroxylase, also known as DBH. DBH is located on the 9th chromosome on the long arm Q in region 3, band 4, and subband 2. DBH is important in that it converts dopamine to norepinephrine by adding a hydroxyl group, also known as an OH group, to the second carbon. This plays a role in the use of energy in ducks and humans. Now, let's begin our research. Here you can see the Red Cedar River, located on the beautiful campus of Michigan State University. Observations occurred here 1 hour a week, twice a week for 8 weeks, and the number of head movements that ducks made before leaving an area was recorded. To determine if sound played a role in the amount of communication, playback, which is playing a recording of a sound, was used. As a positive control, a recording of a mallard duck was played to cause the ducks to leave an area, and as a negative control, a sound of human clapping was played, not causing the ducks to leave. After data was gathered, a chi-square test of independence was run to determine if there was a correlation between the number of head movements and the time leading up to departure. A similar experiment was conducted in humans. Here you can see Holmes Hall Cafeteria, where the seating is well arranged for large groups. We observed in the cafeteria for 1 hour a week, twice a week for 8 weeks, observing random groups of people eating and recording the number of head movements made by the group. For the same reason as before, playback was used, with volunteers acting as the playback. To act as a positive control, they said departing phrases, knowing others would follow their lead. And as a negative control, they did not say any departing phrase, knowing that the people wouldn't leave. After data was collected, a chi-square test of independence was run to determine if there was a correlation between the number of head movements and the time leading up to departure. Here are the results after 8 weeks. Here you can see that the ducks did not display any communication, as there are no head movements prior to leaving an area. This occurred on multiple occasions. However, playback did indicate that sound does play a role when leaving an area, as shown. We believe that the lack of head turning occurred because the ducks on campus are more individual. Jeffrey Black published Pre-Flight Signaling in Swans, a mechanism for group cohesion and flock formation, and concluded that swans, also part of the Anatidae family, turn their heads to communicate as a group. Because these mallard ducks are more individualistic, there is no need for any group signaling, hence no head turns occurred. As you can see, humans did display the head communication desired. To conclude, because ducks are more individualistic than geese and swans, there were no head tossing, and the head tossing was identified in humans. Next, we can attempt to connect the two species using polymerase chain reaction with the DBH gene and run gel electrophoresis to determine if DBH is present in ducks and humans. But that's for you to figure out next time in LB 145.